गुड मॉर्निंग. हे लेक्चर स्टार्ट करण्यापूर्वी मी काही तुम्हाला महत्त्वाच्या सूचना देतो की टॉपिक नंबर 1च्या नोट्स मी तुम्हाला ग्रुपवर दिलेल्या आहेत. त्यासाठी एक स्वतंत्र तुम्ही नोटबुक करायची आणि त्या नोटबुकमध्ये त्या नोट्स कंप्लीट करायच्या आणि त्या नोट्स कंप्लीट केल्यानंतर ज्या टेक्स्टबुकमध्ये तुमच्याकडे PDF असतील किंवा टेक्स्टबुक असेल त्याच्या खाली जी एक्सरसाइज दिली त्याच वहीमध्ये त्या टॉपिकच्या नोट्स कंप्लीट केल्यानंतर त्याच्याच खाली त्या 1-2 पानामध्ये करायचं. त्यानंतर दुसरा टॉपिक ज्यावेळेस मी तुम्हाला सेंड करेन त्यावेळेस त्याच्या नोट्स काय करायच्या कंप्लीट करायच्या. ओके. सो थोडी काय म्हणजे एक्सरसाइजसाठी सेपरेट नोटबुक करण्याची आवश्यकता नाही. ज्या ठिकाणी टॉपिक नंबर 1 तुम्ही लिहिलाय त्याच्या पुढेच तो टॉपिकच्या नोट्स कंप्लीट झाल्यानंतर तिथं जे एक्सरसाइज आहे ते तुम्ही काय करायची राईट डाऊन करायची. ओके. सो टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट द मेन assumptions to the law of demand. Before start the main assumptions to the law of demand, so we have studied the main introduction to the law of demand, then statement to the law of demand. So once again, so what is the main introduction to the law of demand? So the law of demand is introduced by well-known economist Dr. Alfred Marshall in his book Principles of Economics. In which year? In 1890. Okay. So the law of demand is explained that there are inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Okay, which types of relationship? There are inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Okay, so the law of demand also explain there are functional relationship between the price and quantity demanded. So it can be expressed as, or it can be expressed as symbolically as, so dx is equal to f in bracket px bracket complete. So what is the meaning of dx? Means the demand for commodity, f means function, and px means price of commodity. Okay, price of commodity. Then full stop complete again. So you have studied in last lecture what is the main statement to the law of demand. So according to Dr. Alfred Marshall, other thing being equal or other thing being constant or other thing being same or stable, other thing being equal, higher the price of commodity, smaller is the quantity demanded, and so lower is the price of commodity, larger is the quantity demanded. It means the other thing being equal, when price of commodity rises, the quantity demanded falls, and when price of commodity falls, then quantity demanded rises. That is the main statement. That types of statement based on the various types of means certain assumptions. The you have traced that line. Other thing being constant, other thing being equal. So today we are going to study the main assumptions to the law of demand. Main assumptions to law of demand. Okay, assumptions to law of demand. Assumptions means in Marathi, it is based, the law of demand, it is based on certain assumptions. Gruhitake. So, also, the law of diminishing marginal also depend upon the various types of assumptions. So, first, constant income of consumer. Okay, constant income of consumer. Second, no change in size of population, no change in size of population. 3, no change in the price of substitute goods. Okay. 4, there is no changes in the price of complementary goods. Complementary goods. Then no change in taste, habits and fashions. 6, future expectation. Future expectations about price, remain constant. And 7, no change in taxation policy. No change in taxation policy. Okay, so there are main seven assumptions to the law of demand according to Dr. Albert Marshall. So the law of demand is based on the various types of or like certain assumptions, like first, constant income of consumer means income remain constant. Second, no change in size of population means so the population of any country remain constant. Third, no change in the price of substitute goods means the price of substitute goods or commodities remain constant. The fourth, no change in the price of complementary goods. It means the price of complementary goods remain constant or stable or fixed, or there is no change in price of complementary goods. And fifth, no change in taste, habits and fashions. And 6, there are no change in future expectations about price. It means future expectations about price remain constant. And 7, no change in taxation policy. So you write the explanation of each and every point, only single lines. Okay, so main heading, assumptions to the law of demand. First, constant income of consumer. The law of demand assume that there are no changes in income of consumer. It means the income of consumer remain constant. Why? Because there are changes in income of consumer, or there are increases or rises income of consumer, so consumer will purchase more at the same price. That's why here is the price increases and the price increases, so the demand also increases because of the increasing in income of the consumer. That's why, so constant income of consumer to get the experience of the law of demand. Okay, so why constant income of consumer? Because when the rises in income of consumer, so he will purchase more at given price. Okay, second, no change in size of population. So it means size of population remain constant. When increasing in the size of population, there are more impact on the demand, means the demand also increases. Then third assumptions to the law of demand, no change in the price of substitute good. Okay, so examples of price of substitute good means tea and coffee. So the prices of substitute goods remain constant because there is any change in substitute good, there are large change in another substitute good. That's why there is no change in the price of substitute goods, means remain constant or stable or fixed. 4, no change in the price of complementary goods, because there is any change in price of complementary goods, so it means the one change in one commodity, the impact of change in other commodity like a car and petrol. So that's why we have get the experience of the law of demand. There is no change in the price of complementary goods, means the price of complementary goods remain fixed or remain constant or remain same. Fifth, no change in the taste habits and fashion, means the taste habits and fashions remain constant. If there are changes in the consumer's taste habits, fashion, also changes in the demand of commodity. That's why there is no changes in the taste habits and fashions of the consumer. Then 6, there is no change in future expectations about price. It means the simple language, future expectations about price remain constant. So there are change in future expectations about price of the consumer, so also demand change, because there are some consumer expect there are rise price of commodity in future, so that consumer at present price more demanded at higher price. That's why, so you are not getting the full experience to the law of demand. That's why, so future expectation about price remain constant. And 7, no change in taxation policy. There are some few changes in taxation policy also impact on demand. That's why taxation policy of government remain constant. But the law of diminishing marginal utility, ज्यावेळी आपण स्टडी करत होतो त्यावेळी सुद्धा ती जी थेअरी आहे ती थेअरी डॉक्टर अल्फ्रेड मार्शलने इंट्रोड्यूस केलेली आहे. ओके, आणि त्याचप्रमाणे द लॉ ऑफ डिमांड ही थेअरी सुद्धा वेल नोन इकॉनॉमिस्ट डॉक्टर अल्फ्रेड मार्शल यांनी काय केलेली आहे, इंट्रोड्यूस ऑर एक्सप्लेन केलेली आहे. मग द लॉ ऑफ डिमांड ही थेअरी एक्सप्लेन करत असताना अल्फ्रेड मार्शलने 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 हे पॉइंट्स हे टू बी अज्युम दॅट इट विल बी अज्युम दॅट केले. त्यामध्ये फर्स्ट कंझ्युमरचं इन्कम हे फिक्स पाहिजे, स्थिर पाहिजे. त्यानंतर पॉप्युलेशन म्हणजे लोकसंख्येचा आकारमान हे कसं पाहिजे, स्थिर पाहिजे. त्यानंतर थर्ड जे सबस्टिट्यूट गुड्स आहेत, एकमेकाला पर्यायी वस्तू, त्यामध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारचा चेंज झाला नाही पाहिजे. त्यानंतर फोर्थ नो चेंज इन प्राइस ऑफ कॉम्प्लिमेंटरी गुड, पूरक वस्तूच्या किमतीमध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारचा बदल नाही झाला पाहिजे. फिफ्थ जे कंझ्युमरची टेस्ट आहे, त्याची जे सवय आहे, त्याची जी फॅशन्स आहे, त्यामध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारचा बदल नाही झाला पाहिजे. सिक्स जे उपभोक्त्याचे फ्युचर एक्सपेक्टेशन्स आहेत, त्यामध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारचा बदल नाही झाला पाहिजे. आणि शेवटी नो चेंज टॅक्सेशन पॉलिसी. या सगळ्या गोष्टी जर कॉन्स्टंट असतील तर अकॉर्डिंग टू डॉक्टर मार्शल, व्हेन प्राइस फॉल्स then demand rises, and when price rises then demand falls. Is that clear? So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 assumptions to the law of demand. Okay, so first off we have studied introduction to the law of demand, second statement to the law of demand, and third assumptions to the law of demand, and next explanation to the law of demand. First off the explanation with the help of schedule as well as the table, and explanation with the help of diagram or curve. Okay, okay, so first introduction to the law of demand, second statement to the law of demand, third explanation to the law of demand. So it means the explanation with the help of schedule or table. Okay, so it can be explained. There are two columns of that table or schedule. How many columns are there? There are two columns of that table. Okay, first price of commodity. For example, X commodity in bracket rupees. Okay, and then second column quantity demand of commodity X in bracket like kg. Okay, so first column price of commodity X in bracket rupees, and second column quantity demanded of commodity X in bracket kg. 15, 40, 30, 20 and 10. Okay, so very simple method to making this schedule. 50, 40, 30, 20 and 10. So in this situation, price falls from 50, 40, 30, 20 to 10. So what is the main statement of law in the means? Okay, so higher the price of commodity. So here is the lower the price of commodity and larger is the quantity demanded, means when price falls then demand rises. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You write the example. So when price of commodity X at rupees 50, quantity demanded of commodity X 1 kg. Then when price of commodity X rupees 50 means falls rupees 50 to 40, falls rupees 40 to 30, falls rupees 30 to 20 and falls rupees 20 to 10. At that time quantity demanded X in kg also increases or rises from 1 kg to 2 kg to 3 kg to 4 kg to 5. It means, so look at that, when price 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 falls, demand also increases or rises from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when price rises 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, also demand falls from 5 kg, 4 kg, 3 kg, 2 kg and 1 kg. So what is the main statement to the law of demand according to Dr. Alfred Marshall? So other thing remaining constant, higher the price of commodity, higher 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, higher the price of commodity, smaller is the quantity demanded, means 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And another sentence of that statement, lower the price of commodity 50, 40, 30, 20 and 30. So larger or greater is the quantity demanded, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in simple language, when price falls, then demand rises, and when price rises, then demand falls. So that types of table or this schedule indicate there are inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. There are inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. Inverse means when price falls, then demand rises, and when price rises, then demand falls. So that types of the table or that types of schedule indicate the inverse relationship of price of commodity and quantity demanded. Is that clear? So with the help of that schedule, we have draw the diagram of curve. It is called as the demand curve with the help of demand curve. Okay, so means the law of demand can be explained with the help of diagram. That diagram draw with the help of that table. Okay. Okay. Y O and X. Okay. Y O X. So Y axis indicate the price of commodity X in bracket rupees. Okay, y axis indicate price of commodity X in bracket rupees, and so X axis indicate the second column quantity demanded. Quantity demanded in kg. Okay. Quantity demanded in kg. Okay. So quantity demanded in kg 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. Then, so price of commodity 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Then you are right. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 kg. Rupees 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Okay, so we have drawn this diagram with the help of that table or schedule. Okay, so when price of commodity at rupees 50, so quantity demanded is 1. So your plot point on this diagram. Okay, then when price of commodity falls 50 to 40, demand is 2 kg. Okay, when price falls 40 to 30, so demand is, look at that, demand is 3 kg. Demand is then when price falls from rupees 30 to 20, the quantity demanded rises to 4 kg. And when price falls at rupees 20 to 10, demand also rises from 4 kg to 5 kg. Okay, so we have joined that point. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, first plotted the point with the help of that table and then joined that point. Okay. और पॉइंट थोड़ा सा उठती है. Okay, join that point so that means 51, 42. Then 30, 3, 20, 4 and 10, 5. So you are join that line and we get DD. We get DD. So DD means DD is equal to demand curve, CURVE. Okay, DD is equal to demand curve. So join that point when price of commodity 50, so demand 1 kg. Demand is 1 kg. Then when price of commodity 40, demand is 2 kg. And when price of commodity 30, so quantity demand 3 kg. Okay, when price of commodity 20, okay, when price of commodity 20, so quantity demand is 4 kg. So and finally, so price of commodity rupees 10. And so when price of commodity rupees 10, so the quantity demanded rupees 5. Okay. Rupees 5. You have joined the point. Join the point 50, 10, this point, 42, this point. Once again, 51, 42, this point, 33, this point, 24, this point. 10, 5, this point. So you have joined 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the help of that table. The plotted the various types of point 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get DD. DD is the demand curve. DD is the demand curve. This curve DD is the demand curve, and that curve indicates there are inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Which types of relationship between the price and quantity demanded? So there are inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. So that's why. So in this diagram, you are right. Some few explanation. Y-axis represents or indicate the price of commodity X in rupees. X-axis indicate means represents quantity demanded in kg. In the diagram, DD is demand curve. Look at that. DD is equal to demand curve and the slope of demand curve. DD is the demand curve and the slope of demand curve downward from left to right. Downward movement means the slope, S-L-O-P-E, slope of DD. Slope of DD means the slope of demand curve downward movement, downward from left to right. It is called the main features of demand curve is the, I think, the slope of demand curve is the negative. Negative, it means the slope of demand curve is downward from left to right. So DD is the demand curve and the main features of demand curve means the slope of demand curve is downward from left to right. So because of why the slope of demand curve downward from left to right, because of there are inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. So my dear students, so here is end of explanation to the law of demand. So first group, explanation with the help of schedule and explanation with the help of diagram or curve. Okay, so उद्याच्या किंवा परवाच्या लेक्चर मध्ये आपण याचे एक्सेप्शन्स अभ्यासणार आहोत. त्यानंतर हा आपला टॉपिक संपणार आहे. तत्पूर्वी एक गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवायची आहे, या मेथडने हा डायग्राम तयार करत असताना किंवा हे लेक्चर झाल्यानंतर तुम्ही एक पद्धतीने हे लेक्चर झाल्यानंतर हा टेबल आणि हा डायग्राम रफ मध्ये तुम्ही तो तयार करायचा आहे. तुमच्याकडे पट्टी आहे, पेन्सिल आहे, खुडरबर आहे आणि त्या पद्धतीने ते तयार करण्याचा तुम्ही काय करायचं आहे, प्रयत्न करायचा आहे. मग एक आतापर्यंत आपण द लॉ ऑफ डिमांड मध्ये काय काय स्टडी केलेलं आहे. पहिले इंट्रोडक्शन. आता इंट्रोडक्शन मध्ये हायलाइट काय की फर्स्ट म्हणजे ही थिअरी कुणी इंट्रोड्यूस केलेली, डॉक्टर अल्फ्रेड मार्शल. कोणत्या साली केलेली, 1890. कोणत्या ग्रंथामध्ये त्याचा उल्लेख आहे, प्रिन्सिपल्स ऑफ इकॉनॉमिक. आणि त्यामध्ये प्राइस आणि क्वांटिटी डिमांड यांचं जे रिलेशन आहे ते व्यस्त आहे, म्हणजे कसं आहे, इनवर्स आहे, ते स्पष्ट केलेलं आहे. त्यानंतर आपण एका सूत्राच्या सहाय्याने यामधला जो कार्यात्मक म्हणजे फंक्शनल रिलेशनशिप आहे ते आपण स्टडी केलेलं आहे. ते फंक्शनल रिलेशनशिप कसं आहे की dx is equal to f in bracket px. It means demand is function of price. म्हणजे मागणी हे किमतीचे फलन आहे, कारण त्या दोघांमध्ये कसा संबंध आहे, व्यस्त संबंध आहे. त्यानंतर आपण द लॉ ऑफ डिमांडचं स्टेटमेंट स्टडी केलेलं आहे की ज्यावेळी म्हणजे इतर परिस्थिती कायम असताना, अदर थिंग रिमेनिंग कॉन्स्टंट, इतर परिस्थिती कायम असताना ज्यावेळी एखाद्या वस्तूच्या किमती जास्त असतात तेव्हा डिमांड कमी होते आणि ज्यावेळी एखाद्या वस्तूच्या किमती कमी असतात तेव्हा डिमांड काय होते, जास्त होते. त्याचप्रमाणे आपण की अदर थिंग बीइंग इक्वल, हायर द प्राइस ऑफ कमोडिटी, स्मॉलर इज द क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड अँड लोअर इज द प्राइस ऑफ कमोडिटी, लार्जर इज द क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड. आणि त्यानंतर आपण याचं एक्सप्लेनेशन हे एका कोष्टकाच्या सहाय्याने, हे कोष्टक आहे दॅट इज द इमॅजिनेशन. हे कोष्टक आपण काय काल्पनिक आलेलं आहे. या कोष्टकामध्ये वस्तूची किंमत 50 वरून 10 रुपयापर्यंत काय होते, कमी कमी होत जाते आणि त्यावेळेस त्या वस्तूची डिमांड आहे ती 1 किलोवरून 5 रुपयापर्यंत काय होते वाढत जाते. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस किंमत कमी होते त्यावेळेस मागणी वाढते आणि हेच कोष्टक आपण खालून वर वाचत गेल्यास जसजशी किंमत वाढत जाते तसतशी मागणी कमी होत जाते. आणि याचाच आधार घेऊन आपण या ठिकाणी एक कर्व तयार केलेला आहे. तो डिमांड कर्व आहे. काय फक्त काय 50 रुपये असताना असं पद्धतीने बिंदू तयार केलेले आहे. बिंदू तयार केल्यानंतर तो डिमांड कर्व आपण तयार केलेला आहे. याचा उतार हा वरून खाली जाणार आहे. त्याला दुसऱ्या भाषेमध्ये कोणता आहे ऋण. सर बाकीचा भाग आपण नंतरच्या तासात पाहूया. थँक्यू.